Hello, welcome back. And if you're joining us for the first time, you are welcome. My name is Joyne Womjuni. You are welcome to the Triple Twins YouTube channel. And here we're talking about a rare journey into motherhood. Yeah, and today I'm talking about my story. You realize that growing up as a young girl, before I got the three sets of twins, I was simply a young girl with a dream. So I used to pray to God that one day He should bless me with twins. It sounds funny, right? And I was fascinated with twins. Wherever we would act in plays or skits at church, they would give me the role of a mother of twins, and they would call me Nalongo in our language. That means a mother of twins, and we would laugh about it. But later, life happened. I studied, went to school, started businesses, got employed, and gotten married. Lo and behold, my first pregnancy, I remember that day very well. Woke up, I was feeling funny, and my husband suggested that we go to the nearby hospital. When we reached and the gynecologist suggested that we do a scan, they announced that you have two. Wow, what a joy. It was a joy, a mixture of feelings. How would they look like? How will I handle? And well, it was the first time. And the joy and the excitement and remembering the childhood prayers of having twins, it was exciting. Yeah, we really looked at doctor visits with anticipation and following scans, seeing these fetuses grow and looking towards the first kick. And it was so enjoyable. At times you would feel like they are pulling this side, the other, though there was this mixed feeling of motherhood. How am I going to handle? And will I be a good one? How will I breastfeed too? You know, it was an experience. But with the different antenatal lessons and classes, they really equipped us together with my husband because we attended these antenatal classes together. So thanks to the health workers that were part of the journey. And by then I was working with the AR Health Services. So I had insurance. I was not worried about any other thing. So in that, we kept expecting, and every milestone was a joy. And it comes to a time then we would sit and agree the clothes, and we're like, should we check out the sex and what? But the excitement of just carrying twins and an answered prayer and trusting God. Have you prayed and trusted God? Are you believing? Keep hoping and believing. Have the faith that that prayer one day it will be answered. This was a childhood dream and prayer that I presented before God. Right now I'm married, and the first scan shows the very first pregnancy. You have twins. Can you imagine that? Keep hoping, mothers, you will get there. Well, enjoying and reaching a point of like, now I'm a mother of twins. I didn't know that God had just answered a prayer, but more was in store waiting for me. Later on, I discovered that I'm pregnant again. The story of how I went through that will come. But I am giving you an answered prayer of how God answered a prayer and beyond, gave me more than I expected. Later on, I discovered that I'm pregnant again, and my second pregnancy is also twins. Can you imagine that? When I went for this scan, I remember I was going to work. I told you I'm a health worker, and I was like, let me just pass by the radiology department and see what is growing in the inside of me. And I'm there on the scan bed, and the radiographer tells me, hey, I see one. Hey, another one. I said, what? I nearly jumped off the bed. So I waited after it was done. I remember walking out of the gates and calling my husband. I was like, you know what? They've told me we are carrying another set of twins. The guy literally screamed with excitement. We were excited. I remember I went to work. I couldn't imagine. I just was thanking God. And remember, we had prayed for 4. We're like, after that we shall move. But this was just a second pregnancy, and we're like, yeah, we have the 4. Yeah, so I went to work. Yes, came back. We talked about it in the evening, but we had not thought of what was going to come heavily with it. Yes, we move the journey again. We do the scans as usual, and we visit the gynes. And this time they told me, because the first pregnancy they had done me a Caesar, they told, when I visited the gyne, was like, now since the second they are also twins, we shall not do a VBAC. VBAC, I mean vaginal delivery after a Caesar. So I really took my time. I didn't do much of the exercises. This was after 3 years, by the way. The first set was 3. So I decided to get pregnant. We had gotten scared that maybe we might get more, and now they come there too. So we walked that journey too with them. But the first pregnancy, I think people were around, my sisters, they supported. But this time they were getting busy. They have grown, and what? It took a toll on us. And that we shall see in the following episodes. And I believe that is where mothers or families get worn out. But there's a learning. And even before we realize, yes, after years, now we get into Corona, we're bored, the girls were growing, and we're like, let's try again. Good enough, this time God gave us 1. After that, we're like, let's try the last one. You can't imagine. Lo and behold, it is another set of twins. Now we have 7 children. It has been a journey to be told, and stay around if you are interested on how we juggled through the lessons that we learned and how we have reached to be here. As I talk, I am a mother of 7 girls. Welcome once again. Subscribe, like, and share with your colleagues so that we can catch more. Love you. Ciao.